Hello everybody, welcome back to Evolve. We're going to be playing as the Boulder. In this one we're on Refueling Tower against Slim, Hank, Maggie and Markov. Pretty decent team, to be honest. We'll do default for this one. To go against Behemoth. Because we do have Markov. I'm going to move speed this time. I'm going to kick it off. Very high sustain, very high defense. Maggie is probably the weakest link here. But even she's not too terrible, to be honest, so we will see. She is the correct form of slow down, because you do need harpoons or Jack's repulsor to slow Behemoth. Stasis is the weakest because it can still roll around, because the boulder is actually kinetic rather than it being muscle based, so stasis doesn't actually stop that. Weather effects as well. 2015 game this, by the way, boys. I'm off already, because that's a very fucking good start, to be honest. I always love when we get the weather effects. Can I eat this? Yeah, I can. Good. Get one bar at the beginning. That's fine. Notice how it's dry inside as well. It's not just map-wide wet, you know? Do want to just do a little drop at the beginning of this. I wasn't going to do this, I was just going to like surprise you all when I start playing it, but well, if it actually, you know, when it comes out, because it's in that alpha at the moment, I want to bring you all, your attention I should say, to a new ASYM that is on the horizon, called Carnival Hunt. I watched a YouTuber play around with this last night, and let me just say, boys, I was fucking blown away. To say that that game is in early alpha, as they're describing it, with what it looks like and how it plays, is fucking exciting, to say the least, mate. I'm not sure if it's actually a 4v1. As I say, I just literally watched from the store window, in a sense. I just saw somebody playing it. But it is an ASYM. There is one monster and there is a certain number of bunnies, as they call them. That it's set in a kind of early 20th century, late 19th century carnival setting, you know, pre-World War I and all that kind of stuff. Very swingy and, you know, that kind of era. In a horror-based setting, like, I suppose you could say like Bioshock in a sense. Like the same kind of vibe architecturally, where you play as either the monster or the bunnies. And the beauty of this, the bit I enjoyed about this was the fact that the objective of both the monster and the bunnies in this instance is actually shared, because as the monster you're looking for the bunnies to steal their keys, like little wind-up keys. You know, like the old wind-up toys, because that's what they are. Because you, as the monster yourself, are also one of those toys. But it looks very realistic as well. It's not just some fucking Fortnite thing, you know, all that kind of stuff. It actually looks really nice for an alpha. And one of the best parts about this as well, ladies and gentlemen, is this game at fucking last is not fucking licensed. So they can do whatever they want with it, you know. Which is something we've not had basically since last year, is an unlicensed ASYM, because it seems to have taken us about what 5 years now to realise that making a licensed ASYM is basically just killing your game at the very get-go, you know, because you won't be able to do anything with it. We'll get into a fight, yeah. I think I do land that near a bit of a mortar. Might get some DOT on it. I'll get nothing, that's fine. I thought I saw somebody else over there. We'll go for Maggie. We'll go for you. Yep. Because I forgot you were on the team, mates. Yellow beam man is a bit too important to ignore. But yeah, it's got a lot of atmosphere to it for an alpha. I do encourage everybody to go and have a little look at it. I didn't get into the alpha, obviously, because I didn't even know the alpha was actually even on, to be honest, so I didn't even sign up for it, because it's been... I wouldn't really say in development hell, because obviously they have got a game there. There is actually a game, it's been very quiet for like a couple of years, where there was never anything really reported about it, you know. And then recently I just saw it pop up on YouTube, and it's there, you know. So I just didn't know the alpha actually existed. If I did, I'd fucking put my name in the app though, to try and get into it. Because it's got a lot of promise. But obviously, you know, not to put the downers on everything, you know, because it is an ASYM, it's probably going to last about fucking 2 minutes and we're going to lose a genuinely good ASYM concept yet again to run around in fucking circles being chased by a fucking bright, sparkly bunny rabbit. That, you know, Dead by Daylight's going to be for the next fucking 2 or 3 weeks now. With Springtrap getting added. Springtrap's the best of the bad bunch anyway for FNAF for me. I'd rather it be Springtrap as the killer than any of the fucking other ones. But yeah, it's just exciting, boys, you know. We're at that stage again, at the very beginning of a new ASYM coming out, and you think, maybe this is the one, you know. But you just know it's not going to be, but you want to believe. We are going to go back in, because I've got a lot of HP here, and I can get some more strikes. Also, the monsters, which they've said, you know, they've all got multiple, or there's multiple planned, I should say, are all fully voice acted, which is something that is really fucking good to me. You know, if we can get Evolve's level of character development through voice lines and the stuff that, you know, you'd hear if I wasn't doing commentary, because all the hunters in this game are fucking phenomenally acted. They're all very distinct and have their own personalities. Spoke about them before. They're like basically lovable shitheads, because none of them are really like redeemable themselves, but you do root for them in a sense. But yeah, the first monster that I saw in the video, the Magician, has voice lines. Very deep, male, mechanical voice that he has, you know. It's really good to hear. It fills you with hype for what other characters are getting added in their voice lines, you know. We'll go for one more. Do waffle over now, we'll get back to this game, obviously. I do not want to go in there with 2 bars. There is 1 or 2 mechanics in there though. I'm just going to brush on this because obviously, you know, it's if you've watched my Dead by Daylight content, you know the amount of times that I kick off about them being able to fight back against the power roll. There are 1 or 2 ways you can fight back against the monster in that game, but it doesn't really seem at the beginning, obviously, as long as they don't just massively fucking buff it. It doesn't look too bad, to be honest. Like, you can put marbles on the floor to trip the monster up, and it puts you in a small, you know, kind of stun for a couple of seconds. Now obviously, this obviously has a bit of potential to be dickhead exploitable, you know, but we'll have to see how it goes and how rare or how easy it is to actually get that effect to come across, because it will be an item that you can find, because I think it's all item based in that game. I didn't see anyway that any perks, which is the correct way to go. In my opinion anyway. I'm really sick of the fucking perk shit in a lot of games these days, because it just ruins the game most of the time rather than helping it. We saw that happen with Evolve when it went to stage 2. The 9 perks that this game had was enough. Didn't quite get that. Because obviously when they transitioned to stage 2 and it just became this completely fucking stupid, unbalanced mess compared to what we had here in this version. This is Legacy, the original game, before they've just completely bastardized it by trying to turn it into a mobile game. Yeah, it's just better. Universally. But yeah, Carnival Hunt it's called. Very excited for that. Will max wall. Abilities as well, just want to mention that. Magician. There is an ability, because obviously he's a magician, he's got his magician's hat, you know. You can legit, right, channel this ability. This is what I'm talking about in relation to Evolve, what I'll show you with this wall in a minute. In fact, I'll just show you here, just so I can get the topic done. Look at this. Look at the size of that shit, you know. Because you would believe that this thing could summon something that large, you know. It takes its characters seriously. And there is an ability in Carnival Hunt, the one that you know that I'm talking about, where he'll take his hat off, he'll channel it, and you'll get a little indicator where you can aim it. And if you time it right on one of the bunnies, you pull that bunny out of your hat and instantly grab them. If you actually get the skill shot with it, it's really good. I think it's really cool. That it's basically a teleport that you can cast onto the other players. We're going to get move speed here. You can cast onto the other players if you actually manage to land it at the right time. When you know, like a quick time event essentially. You click it when it's on them, when they're passing through it, and you'll pull them out their hat. It's so good, dude. It looks so good. The creativity already. I just wish I actually knew the alpha even existed, to be honest, because it just literally showed up last night in my feed. I was like, what the fuck? I thought this game was dead. Or it was in development hell, as I say. I actually landed that fisher, that's hilarious. I thought they dodged that. I don't know where they are because of the spore cloud. I don't want to be anywhere near this tyrant. Even though I keep antagonising it. Fuck, I got in the way, didn't it? They're making me fight here as well, it's going to keep pecking away at me. Love it when she says that, dude. It's like she's speaking to a pet dog or something. She says this planet is not yours. Has connotations to a lore that she's from another planet called Factor, which was taken over by the monsters. So she's basically here to do better, but it's not really going very well at the moment. Just tank that mine because I'm literally the tank monster. Just get him. Kind of want to back out here because yeah. Probably going to get another wave, but I've not got any damage lead on you. You'll notice about Behemoth as well, the rocky panels you'll see on his back are actually made of flesh themselves, because it's alien rock. It's not natural, as you can see there, basically. You'll see how it's like flesh, but better when you're feeding. You can see how it's like, especially on his shoulder there, it's actually like webby kind of flesh. Excuse me? Like as well, just give me the ability to do this again, dude. Seal it off, make him fight me one-on-one, you know? Won't get away with that these days. It's the top of the genre. Be unfair. Gotta make that Twitch content, you know? Comebacks at every corner. Actually just gonna top myself up here. Without literally just let him die though. He's gonna get revived though, because Slim can range revive bugs. And she died. That's fine. Can't actually re-aim that once you cast it. Probably should have aimed it a little bit further. Shit, I meant to scoop him. That's fine. This is bots, by the way, finding a logical way out of that situation as well, because the bots in this game are actually really good. Listen again, the voice lines, you know, because there's only 2 of them alive, dude. The hunters in this game show fear when you get down to the last couple of them, as you fucking would, dude. When you're fighting this shit, you know? Shit. Keep bouncing, right? We do get a DOT with that, actually. Good. Let's go in the distance, they've got another wave again. We'll go and get some armour again. Okay. whittling them down though, because we're playing for strikes at the moment, which is something you can do as monster. Ooh, that's some Darwinism right there. Get added to the meal. Yeah. Do want you first. Then when you cloaking and run off, getting another wave. But little things like that, you know, commenting on me attacking the dog, you know, it doesn't exist anymore. It literally does not exist anymore. At least not in this genre. It's what fucking annoys me. But people have just become completely complicit with fucking mediocrity, you know. And the minute you start saying something about it, it's like you're the bad guy for wanting fucking high quality games. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's what fucking Gen Z gaming looks like, probably, you know. The kids literally don't know, you know. We straight up went from this to Dead by Daylight, mate, at the end of the day. And only now with, obviously, as I mentioned in that one Carnival Hunt, we've got a one that's got promise to it, you know, again, and it looks high quality. As I say, we also did have last year, but I don't know what's going on with last year now. Nobody does. Because they started literally marketing it on Twitter and then just vanished. So, you know, it is what it is. As far as I'm concerned, from a consumer standpoint, that's dead, it's gone. But again, that was a good concept, because it had genuinely good character designs, and that wasn't licensed either, something that's a common denominator, you know? It is what it is anyway, there you go. Hope you've enjoyed the gameplay, bit of a chatter about Carnival Hunt there, but, you know, I honestly encourage all of you to go and have a look at it, you know? It's obviously, you know, the whole, when I mention it here, if you're still here yet and you haven't seen it, and the idea of chasing bunnies is a bit of a put-off. It's actually thematically done. It's not cutesy stuff. It's actually the old times, you know, the swing period kind of mechanical toy, Tim Burton kind of stuff. You know, it's not the actual, you know, fucking Fortnite bunnies and all this kind of shit, you know, and animatronic bunnies, that kind of stuff, like Five Nights at Freddy's, basically that kind of stuff. It's not cutesy. It's not, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's literally the creepy old toys, you know, back in the day. And obviously you're going around the map to find those wind-up keys that you used to use to, you know, charge it and sing a song for you or something like that, you know, when you wound it up. You as the bunnies are looking for those to keep yourself alive, to wind yourself up and wind your teammates up. It's basically what it is as the bunnies, you're on a timer, a health timer, basically, as the monster is as well, where your HP is essentially declining and you have to find keys around the map off other dead bunnies that are around, because that's another thing. There are procedurally generated corpses of other bunnies knocking around. This is the first issue though that I've just come to actually right at this present moment, because it's actually a mechanic as well, because what you can do as one of the bunnies is, if you're near the monster and you get into a chase, because the monster is only slightly faster than the bunnies in movement speed, but he is susceptible to certain things within the environment that will slow him down. So if you, as a bunny, run off a ledge, the monster can jump off that ledge, but he has a big wind down on his landing, because obviously as ever you get the proper, like, down onto the floor like that, and he picks himself up, you know, that kind of thing. So obviously that puts his camera to the ground and gives you a couple of seconds to get away as a bunny, and in that moment you can choose to actually stay near him, and you can use a mechanic that's called play dead, where you can basically make yourself look like a corpse. You basically drop yourself to the floor and it ragdolls you, and you can just lie there. Now, obviously, the monster can pick you up then and try and have a look at you. And if he does grab you, you'll scream, which means you're real. You know, you're not one of the actual dead ones. And then you'll get shaken, and he'll try and, like, literally, he holds him by the leg as well. It's so fucking good, this dude. I loved it. The first time I saw this, it looks so good for an horror setting, because he picks him up by the neck, and then he gets him by the leg. He flips him upside down, gets him by the leg, like cartoonish, but in the setting it looks really good, you know, where you grab them by one of the legs and then you just start shaking them up and down, And then obviously when you shake them, it drops all their loot, everything they've got, and then you steal it as the monster. And obviously if they've got keys on them at that time that they've not used yet, because maybe they were fully charged, you take those keys and you can charge yourself up. And obviously they lose them, and then you can throw them away, and it resets them and their objective, you know. I'm not too certain on how you actually kill people in it yet. I've not actually seen that. Obviously, I watched a good 10 minutes of it. The guy who was playing it was just going around searching for keys and trying to stop them from doing the objectives and all that kind of stuff. There was a button press when you pick somebody up that does say kill, but he never did it, so I don't know why he wasn't doing it. So I can't really comment too much on that, but there's so much good shit to it, dude, though, because, as I say, it's licensed and there is more than one. There isn't just the Magician. It's just that because it's in alpha at the moment, there is only the Magician. You know, they're only showing the first monster, you know, so there's going to be more monsters. And based on what we've got here, if they are really, you know, good at what they do, they animate it well, they maintain the atmosphere, do not fucking fill it with bright, sparkly shit, do not fill it with second chance bollocks, do not skimp on the flavour and the atmosphere and all that kind of stuff. Keep making voice lines, keep on par with literally what your first monster is, because your first monster is fucking really good based on what they've done from the alpha here. Just maintain the course, stay on it, you know, make the game skill based rather than hand holding for the weaker role. Yeah, you've got a winner, you know. It's just whether it takes off, boys, because we get to this point every fucking time, and I know I sound quite aggressive when I'm saying this, but it's out of passion, boys, because I'm fucking here again with another ASYM that I'm excited by. And no matter what happens with these ASYMs, it can be like the fucking bestest like thing ever, you know. I had the same experience with last year, you know, but then with last year they turned around and said, "Hi guys, you know the Discord game storefront, the storefront that lasted literally about 2 weeks in its entire lifespan, we're going to sign a 1-year contract and put the game on there." So you still had to wait that 1 year before the game was even playable, and they didn't even fucking market it in that time. So that got killed right at the very beginning. Stupid fucking mistakes. And now we're here with Carnival Hunt. I'm not saying something like that's going to happen, but it might. You know, again, where they just make the dumbest fucking decisions imaginable rather than staying the course, literally, and just making the game, marketing it, having no drama whatsoever, you know, and just fucking giving me something, giving us, I shouldn't say me, and I don't actually mean me as well, I just mean the genre itself. Just give us something other than a fucking licensed ASYM to compete with Dead by Daylight, please. You know, because at least even if it doesn't have longevity to it, even if it doesn't have it doesn't stick for a couple of years and all that kind of stuff, as long as it's around for 1 or 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you know, all that kind of stuff, just that kind of time frame, even if it's that, it will kick Behavior's ass into fucking gear as the game that is actually at the top of the genre, and at the moment is the fucking industry standard of ASYMs. I know it's hard to believe. We'd actually see something good in that game as well, because they'd actually have to put fucking effort into it, you know? Like, we just need something in this genre, dude, because it's getting really fucking annoying. Like, I'm getting really excited for this game, but I know I'm probably going to feel like shit in a couple of months' time when it goes downhill, you know? There's already people going on in fucking the Steam forums for it, though, anyway, going on about the pricing of it. We're here again, you know? God help you pay for your fucking content, you know, in a fucking business that's designed these days anyway around, you know, making money to make these games, you know, because people don't seem to grasp the concept of spending money to make money, or, well, not spending money to make money, but you as a consumer and as a collective, when you're buying video games, are actually funding those video games. It's easy to think that they're just taking your money and going down a fucking, I don't know, going to the fucking beach and lying on the beach and spending your fucking money and all this kind of shit. Some of them do that, but there are actually other games that do have these price tags, especially from smaller developers like this one is, where they have to have these prices because they need the money to maintain themselves, because they don't have a big fucking safety net of being some massive company to fall back on, you know? They don't have the finances for it, so they have to start with high price tags to get themselves off the ground. That's how it works, you know. But they're already going on about, oh, it's a 40 quid game. It's a 40 quid game with one monster in it, and it's in the fucking alpha phase. They put like 6 posts out to say it's in the alpha phase, which means they're only going to be testing very minimal things. You know, we're only going to obviously get one monster because they're going to be testing how the first monster works. They're going to be testing how the first mechanics work. It's fucking brain dead, mate. The level of the average gamer these days. They just don't understand what the fuck even goes on in this industry. It does my head in, because they just jump on it, and a lot of good concepts of games across the board, not just ASYMs, get killed by this stupid fucking behaviour. And it's got to the point now where it's getting really fucking annoying to exist in the same space as, because there's a lot of good concepts that are just getting killed for the fucking YouTube clout shit, you know, where you just say what everybody wants to hear. You know, where it's like, oh, returning guns blue, and all this kind of wank, which is what they did with this game. And then we proceeded to make our entire fucking careers after that around gambling and loot boxes in fucking Call of Duty. You know, all that kind of shit. And Fortnite, you know, some of them went to Fortnite as well. There's not even just one of these fuckers. There was a lot of them at the time when this game was released. Because if you didn't know this monster that we're playing as here, they were charging 15 quid for him. And I've said for a while now, I know it's an egregious price, and it was back then in 2015, but I'm sat here 10 years later and I'm not bored. So you're not going to fucking tell me that my money was wasted, because it fucking wasn't, mate. You know, I've got 10 years worth of entertainment out of that fucking 15 quid, you know. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't give a shit, quite honestly, mate. I got my money's worth. The game might be dead, but I'm still playing it. It's playable against bots. It's perfectly fun against bots, you know, because of how well made it is, the atmosphere, the animations, the hunters' voice lines, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's fun to listen to what, you know, their reactions to literally every little thing that's happening, because nearly all the hunters have literal reactions for very specific situations that just pop out of the woodwork. I'm still sat here 10 years later hearing new voice lines from certain hunters, you know, that I've never heard before. There's fucking literally like hours of voice lines for dropship conversations that you won't hear, obviously, when we play as monster, because there's all the different combinations of hunters that you can have on your team, because obviously you can mix and match them. They all have different interactions with each one that intermingle with the tiers, you know, to give you a sense of atmosphere and to give you a sense of character, all that kind of stuff. That exists in this game. What did we choose? Run around in circles being chased by a teenager with a fucking knife with zero voice lines or atmosphere in it. And people try to tell me I'm being unjust, you know. I'm the bad guy over in that fucking space, you know. So obviously in a couple of days we'll boot over onto the PTB, and, you know, we'll have a look at Springtrap, the latest killer coming to Dead by Daylight, that behaviour assures as well. And this is something I am going to bring up when we do the actual video, because this is fucking hilarious to me. Behaviour assures us that it's going to be groundbreaking for Dead by Daylight, right? So we'll see what their definition is of groundbreaking actually is, you know, and if it's actually this killer that the biggest license that they've ever released, this killer actually surpasses Carnival Hunt's alpha phase first killer. I'll compare it to that, you know. Obviously I'm not going to be able to actually properly compare it to it, but you need to, whenever I do that, and you do stick around for that video, if you do watch it, anything that I might say in that video when we do it, just basically open a new tab at the top and have a look at Carnival Hunt's first killer, first monster, when I'm talking about it. And that'll be your comparison, obviously, because I can't put other people's gameplay in my video. I've not got access to the alpha, so yeah, we'll see how it goes, eh? And we'll also be playing what's going to get nerfed when I do that as well. That's going to be something we're going to be doing going forward with new killers now, because that's how they do it. They did it with the Tokyo Ghoul chapter over there, where a killer that was actually strong, and I say strong loosely, to be honest. He was about, I always said he was about low A tier. He completely took the absolutely snowflaked community by storm. They all started fucking whining about only seeing him, and him being a bit too oppressive despite his only fucking power being able to land his first hit very quickly, and then you basically just run to a jungle gym or a very tight loop and you're completely fucking safe, because he's just an M1 killer. But no, we nerfed that into the ground. So now he's slower across the board. His tokens for his leaps regenerate at a slower pace, I believe, and he gets less of them as well, just to nail him to the floor for people that can't play video games. But as I say, we'll be doing that with Springtrap as well. We'll have a look at what's going to get nerfed with Springtrap after they have took the money of the chapter as well, like they did with Tokyo Ghoul. But anyway, there it is. Carnival Hunt, boys. I massively encourage you all to have a look at it. We're at the beginning again of another ASYM that's got a lot of promise, and we're not going to take that sentence any further because I don't want to make myself believe that's the reality we live in, you know. But we'll see. Hope you've enjoyed the gameplay though, and I'll hopefully see you for the next one. Bye.